everyone. My name is Roma Chumak-Horbach. I'm Associate Professor in the School of Early Childhood Studies at Ryerson University in Toronto, Canada. This short video profiles the work of a group of Finnish childcare professionals. It highlights two things: how these teachers respond to the growing linguistic diversity in their centers and classrooms, and how they added a multilingual component to their curriculum. First, some background. Along with Sweden, Norway, Denmark, and Iceland, Finland belongs to the Nordic countries. With a population of over 5.5 million, Finland is a bilingual country with two official languages, Finnish and Swedish. Sami languages are spoken across Lapland by the indigenous population. In 2019, immigrants made up 7.5% of the population of Finland, and more than 160 immigrant languages are spoken in Finland today. This graph shows 30 of these immigrant languages. The 5 most widely spoken are Russian, Estonian, Arabic, Somali, and English. Not surprisingly, this linguistic diversity is reflected in Finland's childcare centers. In some centers, over 70% of children have little or no proficiency in Finnish, and Finnish-speaking children are the minority. Early Childhood Education and Care, or ECEC, is part of the Finnish education system and is viewed as the first stage of children's learning. ECEC is provided in municipal centers, in smaller family daycare groups, and in private homes. All children under school age have the right to publicly subsidized early childhood education and care if their parents so decide. More than 80% of children over age 3 participate in early childhood programs, while 98% of 6-year-olds attend preschool programs. Working together with families, teachers prepare individual learning plans for every child. This ensures parental participation in children's learning, growth, and development. The Finnish Early Childhood Education and Care program is based on an integrated approach called the EduCare model. The focus of this model is learning through play and focuses on 5 areas: thinking and learning, cultural competence, interaction, and self-expression, self-care and independence, multiliteracy and technology, and participation. The learning areas of the EduCare model include the rich world of languages, diverse forms of expression, self and community, interacting with the environment, and growth and development. Let's have a closer look at the rich world of languages. This learning area encourages children to develop an awareness of people and languages. It promotes languages, texts, writing systems, and cultures. It strengthens the development of children's cultural identities. It promotes the development of Finnish and Swedish skills and provides opportunities for home language use and learning. Before we look at the work of the Vantaa teaching team, let's have a closer look at the city of Vantaa. Along with Helsinki, Espoo, and Kauniainen, Vantaa is part of the inner core of the Finnish capital region. With a population of over 233,000, Vantaa is the 4th largest city in Finland. 78% of the residents speak Finnish, while 2% speak Swedish. Close to 30% of the children of Vantaa are immigrants. Over 119 immigrant languages are spoken in Vantaa today. And here are the 5 most widely spoken: Finnish, Estonian, Russian, Swedish, and Arabic. And here is the Vantaa teaching team, 8 professionals working in childcare centers and pre-primary classrooms. And here is their response to the changing populations, the linguistic diversity of their centers and classrooms. The old way of teaching was no longer working. We are teaching children with whom we have no common language. We need new ways of working with families. We need to transform teaching while implementing the national curriculum of Finnish early childhood education and care. In response to the diversity, the Vantaa teaching team launched pedagogical development work, a teaching initiative that includes 7 early childhood centers in 2 Vantaa districts. The goals of the Pedagogical Development Initiative are in line with the National Finnish EC curriculum, and they include the following: promote social justice, develop children's academic language through literature, make home languages and cultures visible, support children's identity construction, develop children's awareness of linguistic diversity, create language and culture-rich learning environments, and partner with families. To reach these goals, the Vantaa teaching team adopted linguistically appropriate practice, or LAP, a multilingual teaching approach. Referring to LAP as a language-aware pedagogy, they turned their attention to children's language backgrounds and abilities and documented the following: languages used in the home literacy practices, exposure to Finnish, and parental language and literacy concerns. An important first step was to include children's home languages daily and directly into the program. The Vantaa teaching team made home languages visible by creating multilingual posters and displays. Also, home language use was encouraged, and families were invited to translate resources and participate in activities. Now let's look at the multilingual work of 2 teachers from the Vantaa teaching team. In Minka's center, children speak 24 different home languages, while Kirsi reports 25 different home languages. Minka reported that interactive storytelling, a 5-step book-sharing activity, works well in both small and large groups. All children, including those who have limited proficiency in Finnish, are encouraged to participate. Before she starts, Minka invites the children to explore several books. She observes them carefully and then makes a selection based on children's response, interest, and comments. Here are the 5 steps of this activity: silent story sharing, story highlights, crafts and pictures, reading the story, and follow-up. Let's have a closer look. In this first step of interactive storytelling, Minka shows children the selected book. She invites them to a silent and attentive visual sharing, to look at the pictures carefully. She then opens the book, turns the pages slowly and silently, and uses gestures and facial expressions to create a mysterious and hushed atmosphere. Following the silent sharing of the story, Minka shows the children various objects that represent the central characters and ideas of the story. These include pictures, multilingual word lists, charts, cards, puppets, and toys. The purpose of this step is to familiarize children with the highlights of the story, provide them with key words, and prepare them for the reading of the text. Once the children are familiar with the theme and the main characters, they are invited to depict the story using art and craft materials. Their contributions are labeled both in home languages and in Finnish, and they are discussed. Minka reports that children naturally show interest in each other's languages and happily learn words in the languages of their classmates. In this step of interactive storytelling, the artwork prepared by the children is placed on the floor for all to see. As Minka reads, she refers to the artwork. She regularly stops the story, reviews central words and concepts, challenges the children with questions, invites them to post their artwork on the wall, and encourages them to contribute their ideas and showcase their understanding. Minka reports that the story lives in the classroom well after it is shared with the children. The displayed artwork is discussed, and new words in Finnish and in home languages are integrated into music and movement. We now go to Kirsi's center to see how her team reaches out to families. Families are important in Kirsi's center. They are invited to attend play days, morning cafe, and cultural days. These family events are planned and organized in advance with materials that encourage role-playing and sharing. Children are included and siblings are welcome. Home language use is encouraged as families meet, interact, and bond. Kirsi reports numerous goals of the family outreach initiatives, and these include the following. Give families a voice. Send a message of acceptance and inclusion. Help children feel proud of their language backgrounds. Strengthen relations between teachers and families. Encourage family involvement and participation. Share languages, cultures, stories, food, and music. Provide families with information about child development, language learning, and play. Build friendships and encourage home language use. I end this video with a giant thank you, or kiitos, to the Vantaa team for sharing their creative multilingual work. And I invite you, the viewer, to try the interactive storytelling activity and think about increasing family participation in your program.